What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. 4 days in a row. We're on a roll here. I'm loving these morning live streams. Every single morning, right around this time, we're going to come at you live and talk about what's going on in the crypto market for about a half hour, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on what's going on. Zach is late. I'm here. It's 8:55. I might have missed it by 1 minute, but maybe even 30 seconds. But I'm here. We're here. The crypto market giving back some of those gains that we saw yesterday, but we're going to get into the reasons why, and a lot of it is just macroeconomics and geopolitical things happening, and praying for everybody in Ukraine. It is getting worse and worse by the day. Much more things going on in our world in cryptocurrency. Of course, we're going to talk about crypto. Hopefully, we can escape from some of the real world issues out there, but keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers. Everybody going through that because it's just not good, man. It's a shame. Quite frankly, it pisses me off to see what's going on. But okay, we're going to talk about crypto here. Of course, that's why you're here. And let me share my screen here. We're going to get into it. Good morning, everybody. Good evening, wherever you are in our beautiful world. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, real quick before we get started, it is totally free to smash the like button or like the smash button, whatever you prefer. Go ahead and hammer that puppy so we can get a bunch of people in here so they can get informed too on what is going on in our crypto world. All right, so good morning. What's happening? Chase, what's going on? Travis, morning, buddy. Crypto Life, good morning. Tatted Grizzly, what's happening? Got a good comment here. Got to close a daily candle over 38.8K or expect to test 34K levels. Yep, that's what I'm watching. Yep. Good morning, James. How we doing? President Joe Biden has signed an executive order on government oversight of cryptocurrency that urges the Federal Reserve to explore whether the central bank should create its own digital currency. Correct. That is exactly what we talked about yesterday. That is exactly what's going on. No question about it. So, all right, overall markets, let's take a look. Even though it's red here today and we're giving back some of those big gains we had yesterday, we were up about 11%. On Bitcoin here today, back down about 6%. So a lot of just kind of the same money flowing in and out of crypto. I really think that's a big issue as well. In addition to all the geopolitical factors that we have talked about, in addition to inflation, in addition to sanctions and war, we've also just got not a lot of new people coming into crypto, right? That 4% number, global number in terms of people who are in crypto, has not budged a lot in 2022. And for obvious reasons, right? Number one, it's just been really hard for people to invest money. Anybody who, is middle class right now or, working their 9-to-5 job, it's really hard right now to find extra income, no matter where you are in our world, right? Let's just face it. It's, of course, when in doubt, zoom out, right? And I don't want to make this like a sad and somber day because, listen, I mean, we're still here. We're talking about crypto. There are still things to learn. There are still opportunities to be had, right? But at the end of the day, if you're in this thing for a week or two and you get frustrated and leave, I feel bad because you're just new to crypto. You've got to spend time with it. You've got to almost see all the ups and downs. You got to ride the roller coasters before you can really have a good grip, a good grasp on what this crypto market really is, right? It's a highly volatile place. So if you're not prepared for that, and if you're not ready for that, just passively invest then. If you want to be in crypto and you don't want to watch it day to day, you don't want to be an active trader, an active investor, just dollar cost average, because then you get Bitcoin and Ethereum or whatever, those assets are that you want to DCA into. You get them at all different types of prices. You don't have to watch it. It's a good strategy. So you can definitely use that to your advantage if you're somebody who gets really emotional with the day-to-day price action. And it can get you, especially if you're a new investor. I know there's a lot of new investors out there. And listen, I mean, as a crypto investor, as a crypto content creator, I want to see new people come into the space and stay in the space. So find a strategy that works best for you, whether it's dollar cost averaging, maybe it's, only buying under certain levels for certain assets, setting automatic buys. So you don't have to watch it. You don't have to lose sleep at night. You don't have to let your emotions get the best of you. And that is when you make irrational decisions. And listen, I'm not perfect here. I mean, I've made irrational decisions in my crypto journey and still do. right? It's part of the process. But there's an old saying, right? You learn a lot more from your failures than you do your success. And that's true. Early on, I learned a ton by losing. And now it's better informed my investing decisions moving forward, right? So good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Let's see here. Let's see. Over 15. The guy, don't be scared, everybody. Zach has made me over 15 last year. Listen to him. That's awesome, man. I'm guessing 15K. I love it, man. I love hearing people making money in this market. There's always opportunities. And again, we were here in the dog days of summer in 2021, right? Where everything looked brutal. It wasn't as bad as this from a geopolitical standpoint, from a macroeconomic standpoint, but we were still, going through the heart of COVID, right? And things were not good. But things can change as well, right? Things can definitely change pretty quickly in this crypto market. And I think we're going to be here for a little while longer. I think it's going to get wonky. However, I'm going to share a video with you that shows some optimism. Somebody who's very valued in the crypto space believes that what Joe Biden did yesterday will eventually get us back into a bull run. So we're going to get into that a little bit as well. But here we could see the numbers. If we scroll on down, Solana's down 5%, Dogecoin down 4%, SHIB down about 5%, Polygon 5%. Really not a lot of green in the crypto market right now. Let's take a look at a couple charts here on DEX tools, and then I want to get into that video that I was just talking about that kind of goes over some of the optimism in terms of what this executive order that came in yesterday could actually do later this year for crypto. Maybe right now we're still in this choppy phase, but later this year we could enter a bull market because of the things that were said yesterday by Biden and the administration there and what their plan is for cryptocurrency. Not DEX tool. We need DEX tools. There we go. All right. So let's see what we can find out here. And welcome in, everybody. Volatility is a thing. 100% agree, Boca. 100%, man. And if you're not ready for it, just dollar cost average. Or, set up buy alerts on under certain levels, right? Good morning, Scott. Yeah, got your coffee ready? Oh, yeah. Got mine too, brother. Yep. What's up, Nick J? How we doing, man? Sick Mike, my dude. In 2021, I got wrecked on trading too much. Invest in what you believe in. Take profits when up and be patient. All great advice there. Agreed. How can I buy Bone and Leash? Devron, you could buy Bone and Leash both on Uniswap, but there is a particular exchange that might be listing Bone and Leash. I'm going to have a video out on Shiba Inu as it relates to that later today. Hopefully you're not looking at my tabs. I might be giving it away up there. I just got rid of it. Did you see that? Did you see which platform it is? Let me know down below if you've already seen it. I'm not going to respond to it, though, because I want you to check out my video later. Pretty fascinating. A centralized exchange could be getting ready to list Bone and Leash. More on that. You'll see that video come out on the channel later after the stream. I recorded that one early this morning, and I also recorded kind of a general State of the Union crypto news update, but added some good perspectives, I think, from some articles I pulled from. Those two videos will come out after the stream here this morning. So, fourth day in a row, we're doing our live stream. Let me know in the comments if you like this. I want to check out a couple different assets. Of course, we've been looking at Terra. We looked at this yesterday. Oh, Bra 79. He might be up to something. All right, so Terra's coming back actually a little bit, back into the sixes. That's interesting because we were down in like 5, 6, 5, 5. I actually added to my position last night, right around 5, 5, 5, 6. Sent a message to my Patreon group. If you want to come over and join our Patreon, this link down below in the description. $20 per month. You can cancel it anytime. Know when I'm buying, when I'm selling, all that good stuff. But yeah, Terra back up into the sixes. So here's the thing. This dip yesterday, we're looking at the 1 hour chart. This is healthy. This is a healthy, and especially when we zoom out here. I like looking at the 1 days, okay? Really, what happened here? We came back down. We gave pretty much everything back that we saw on March 8th, but this green candlestick, that's not sustainable. Like, you can't just go up forever. So here we go. If we can get some sideways action right in here, this would be great for Terra, okay? If we can get about a week or two of just sideways movement, I would love it. I think that would be super healthy for Terra. All right, so wanted to kind of check into that. Apollo had a really nice big pop yesterday, only to give it back. There were some big sells coming in. We're down to the 8.7. I think this is a good opportunity. But really, look at this. When we look at the 1 day, we're really consolidating here, okay? Again, huge green candlestick, very similar to Terra. This is not sustainable. You can't just go up forever. You need sideways action. So if you're playing the long game here, maybe you bought a little bit too high running up here. Good chance to dollar cost average, in my opinion. For me, I'm holding steady on this just because my position is so large already, and I got in day one. I've only bought Apollo on day one, back on January 12th. So, I'm just holding tight, sitting steady. I believe in Matt and what they're doing. Can't wait for the Dow to come out. Pull up some updates on Apollo here in a little bit. So I wanted to kind of address that real quick. What else? What other charts do you want me to take a look at, guys? Drop them down below. We'll take a look at a couple charts. And then I want to get into this video in particular. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I'm just going to set this up, and then we'll go ahead and look at some charts here. I might be able to start it kind of right in there. We'll just take a listen to what they're saying. Terrarium, already just looked at it. Yeah, you must have just missed it, Neville. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, Daniel. How you doing, man? Tectonic. Haven't done a deep dive into in it, Timsky, but I know a lot of people are asking about it. We'll have to look into that. Sharky Token, a good project. Okay. Thanks, Alejandro. Oh, Nick J, you're giving it away, man. Bone and Leash could be coming to a centralized exchange. Seda Nobi. All right, let's take a look at that. Seda Nobi. Take a look. Happy with Luna. Yeah, Terra Luna's had a really nice run. Seda Nobi doesn't look too bad. Nice consolidation phase here. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Actually up today. Look at that. Up 17%. Interesting. TARP. A lot of good things happening with TARP. Really good project. Moonshot's a great guy. Helps me look at different projects before I cover them here on the channel. Okay. Nice little consolidation here for TARP too. So I can't give too much away here. Okay. But some really good things coming for TARP over the next 2-3 months. I'll say that. All right. Some really good things coming for TARP over the next couple months. Very excited. I'm getting ready to add to my position here. Okay. Probably later today. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Let's see. Sergio, thank you for the super chat, man. We'll jump right to you here. Let's take a look at Boba. That's another one that's been on a lot of people's radar. All right. Let's see here. Boba Tama. Great name, by the way. Wow. That thing is still heading north. Wow. Up 94%. You're kidding me. That's amazing. Amid what's going on in the crypto market, only 1,500 holders, but already $16 million market cap. Came out on March 1st. So this is the 10th day in its existence. Wow. But here again, personally, I have not invested in Bobatama yet. I would wait until this consolidates. There's got to be a, comeback down point. Maybe back in here in the 12s, I would say would be maybe a good entry, especially if we see some straight line action. If we came back down to the 12s, maybe even the 11s, I would think this has to come down. Similar to Terra, right? Things can't go up forever. They just can't. So I never like chasing green candlesticks. Okay. And, if you get in early, great. But otherwise, wait for some consolidation, wait for a dip, in my opinion. That's kind of how I play it. So let's see here. Tony, appreciate that, man. From Pittsburgh, PA. Great town, dude. Great city. Love Pittsburgh, man. Not too far away from my hometown, actually, about 60 minutes. So, yeah, I've been to Pittsburgh many times. Yeah, I saw that, Asher. One of the ministers in Turkey talking about SHIB adoption. Yeah, let's actually bounce over and take a look at that. Quick plug, Rich Rabbit Club, NFT project. Give us a follow. Myself and Austin, we're super excited about this. Right now, it's Discord only invites only for the Discord. But, yeah, definitely would appreciate if you guys come over and join us. It's at Rich Rabbit Club. Follow along for all the updates. But here is what Asher is talking about. Let's see here. Watcher Guru, first off, shout out to them. They embedded one of my tweets on Terrarium the other day. So shout out to Watcher Guru. That was super cool. But, man, they're always on top of the news. They just do a fantastic job. Here's what Asher's talking about here. Just in, Turkey's economy minister met with Shiba Inu supporters to discuss SHIB adoption. We're actually going to quote this tweet and just say, how about this? Probably nothing. But yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting to say the least. Let's see. Oh man, it's so hard to give price predictions on SHIB and Saitama by 2030, man. That's such a long way out. I can't even really give you anything that I feel strongly about, man. But I'm very, very bullish on SHIB for the long term, 100%. I'm going to hold the rest of my Saitama, but it's been a rough go at it for the Wolfpack, and I feel for everybody in it. But I think for a lot of people, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of people will say, "Zach, quit fudding," but I got to just say it. Use this as a learning tool, right? A lot of people complained about people taking profits like, oh, you paper handers around the Vegas event. Well, I guess I was a paper hander, but how do I look now? And I'm not saying that to, sound egotistical at all, but anybody who took profits in November looks pretty smart right now, right? So just realize that taking profits is not a bad thing. There was this big narrative in 2020 and 2021 that it's all about diamond hands and you got to hold forever. You could do that with a few assets, in my opinion, but maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like that. But with these smaller projects, the way they move so quickly up and down, in my opinion, be prepared to take profits. Have a plan. Have a plan in place. When you enter a trade, something I like to do is I keep a spreadsheet. So I say, okay, I entered Terra at this level. Okay. And then I write some notes underneath there and say, hey, at these levels, I'm going to take my initial investment out. At this next level, I'm going to take an additional 20% of profits out. Right. And if you can have a plan, you're way more likely to, make rational decisions along the way. But if you just FOMO into something, have no idea when you're going to sell, have no idea when you're going to take profits, your emotions get the best of you. Okay. And you end up losing that trade. In my opinion, that it's happened to me. I'm just telling you from my experience and a lot of other people's experience. Have a plan. Have exit strategies, not full exit strategies if you don't want to. Have profit-taking plans along the way. Okay. I really think that's important for people to know. So many new people come into the space, right? What's up, Raquel? How you doing? From day one, Zach told me SHIB is less risk than Saitama. He was not wrong. Yeah, Nick. I mean, the thing with SHIB is it's a market cap thing. It's a adoption thing. It's all you gotta do is look at the news. There's always something happening with Shiba Inu. Saitama is not yet on a major exchange, right? I mean, that's something that is fully lacking, in my opinion, with Saitama. Okay, and I'm still holding, guys. I'm still holding some of my bags, so don't come at me. You can if you want to, whatever. I got thick skin, that's fine. But yeah, I've always thought SHIB was going to be a much less riskier play. I mean, it's a top 15 crypto. I mean, it's not rocket science here, right? It's a top 15. Now Saitama at its peak could have been a top 100 for whatever reason. It's not on CMC, whether it's the reflections or whatever the heck it is. They can't figure out the circulating supply. For whatever reason, it's not listed there, or wasn't listed there when it could have been, when it had a higher market cap. But yeah, I think number one, SHIB has just more things happening with it. So yeah. What's up, Muzz? How you doing, man? Also, don't invest when hungry or too drunk. It's a good point too, Daniel. Yeah, pretty good point too. Got my Everrise hoodie on, so shout out to Everrise, proud brand ambassador of them. I really think Everrise could be a top 100 crypto. There it is. There it is. Okay. Where was I? What did I want to get into? We were looking at Boba. Man, look at this chart. Crazy. I know Daniel and Muzz, I think a couple other people in my Discord got into this yesterday. Congrats. Hopefully you're taking some profits already if you haven't seen this, but the chart is firing up. Let me know anything else, guys, you want me to take a look at. Maybe some of these top trending. This was an interesting one, wasn't it? Marshall Rogan Inu. Marshall is Joe Rogan's dog. Actually, green candlestick working today a little bit. Interesting. This thing got as high as a $200 million market cap, right now at 98 million. So it has come down off its highs. This is a really interesting play. And there's actually a use case there. Check into it. If you haven't already, they're doing some things with UFC fighters. It's pretty cool, actually. Is Engine ever going to ignite? I'll tell you what, Champa, I really love what they're doing. I love their game. It's just they have not been able to get off the ground, man. I'm still holding a small bag of Engine. I did get in relatively early. Here's Engine. Let's pull it up here. Okay. Kind of in a big consolidation phase. They had that one big run up in January, And I did take a little profits up in here, but I'm still holding. Basically, I got my initial and a little bit some out of there. So no matter what, I've won the trade. So that's a really good learning tool, actually. Okay. So when you get into something like this, bare minimum, like I got in back in December, somewhere in here, right? Into Engine. So, we had the huge run up. And again, I saw this huge green candlestick right in here. Somewhere I sold off, just enough where my initial was out and I had some profits. Now I can sleep better at night. No matter what, I've won this trade. And if I believe in it long term, I'm more likely to hold it long term because I'm already winning the trade, right? Now, when you're getting into something and you don't sell off during this big uptick, right? And you bring it all the way back down and now you're here and you're stuck, you're like way more likely to sell out and just take a loss, right? So just keep that in mind. Everrise is doing a V3 with an emphasis on better staking. You'll be able to stake 24 to 36 months. Wow. Yeah, we're actually going to talk. I've got a meeting with Everrise later tonight. Their marketing coordinator, great person. She's awesome. She's going to fill us in on some of the things that they're working on, and I'll have a video out relatively soon, probably sometime next week, on Everrise and kind of what they're doing. So, can Baby Doge ever reach SHIB prices? Well, it's interesting, right? Because Baby Doge, which, dude, how about this? They've been up on this banner forever. But Baby Doge, Engine can be had on Uniswap, Supa. Baby Doge has more holders, okay, than Shiba Inu. But here's Baby Doge. I mean, it's in a nice consolidation phase. That's not a bad looking chart, really, for Baby Doge. But can it get to SHIB levels? It's going to need whales. That's why it's not a high market cap, because they just don't have the Ethereum whales that Shiba Inu does, right? Let's see why Shibnobi price on LBank is way higher than its actual price. Happens all the time. Happens on Bitmart as well. Let's take a look at Shibnobi. And this is what causes, what's the word? What's the word when people buy it higher and sell it lower over on Uniswap? It's escaping me, that word. Arbitrage. Okay. That's why arbitrage happens a lot. Here's Shinja. So Shinja's had two big pumps, but now it's like back down right where it was before the last pump, though. But a lot of people still very bullish on it. I sold off during this second pump. I'm still holding a small bag, but again, I made a mistake. Okay, I was buying kind of right in here back in December. Okay, whereas where I first bought in right in here, I didn't sell up here. I was pissed. I screwed up. I wrote it all the way back down and I said, okay, next time this happens, I'm making sure that I secure profits. And that's what I did up here, okay, in late January. Now I can hold the rest of it and hang in there, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Now, easier said than done. This isn't always the case, right? But you try to at least take your initial out, maybe a little bit more on top, then no matter what, you can hold your position if you really want to hold it for the long term and see what happens. Let's see. What do you expect from Mana, Sand, Crow, Shib, Cardano, Guzzler? Wow, a lot of great things here. A lot of good assets that I really like. I hold all these and expect some to 2 to 3x sometime this year. What do you think? Well, Mana and Sand and Crow and Shib, Cardano, those are kind of in different categories than Guzzler. I do like what Guzzler's doing. It's one of the Inuyasha assets that I am pretty bullish on. I'm bullish on a lot of their projects. I like what those guys do, but in terms of Mana and Sand, they're household names. They're not going anywhere. Now, Mana and Sand have already had big run-ups. Let's go over to the Metaverse category here. Okay. And I'll try to get to as many questions as I can, guys. But if you do send a super chat, I do have to kind of prioritize that over others. I think that's only fair. Decentraland and Sandbox, number 1, number 2, both top 40 cryptos by market cap. Decentraland, we were acquiring Decentraland back when it was 65 cents, which is crazy. Back in 2021, if we go out to the 1 year, we could see way down in here. Somewhere. It was actually back in here. It was actually way back. It wasn't March, though. Where was it? Where's the price? Right in here. Yeah, back in May is when we started acquiring. Down in here in June. May and June is when we started getting Decentraland, right back in here. I've always been very bullish on Decentraland. I remember reading articles back in 2020, 2021, late 2020, just about, what was going on and this virtual land thing that now we've come to really know about, the metaverse, right? And buying virtual land. I was like, I don't really understand this, but it's fascinating. And if people are paying millions of dollars for these virtual plots of land, I've got to get in. So that's kind of where I was at. I did take profits on Decentraland on the way up. Okay. And now I'm holding my position because I believe in it long term. But you could see here, if we look at kind of the last 3 months, it's been pretty choppy for Decentraland. But I do really believe in it long term. So many things happening with it. So that and Sandbox, I think, are really good investments. Relax. I think you're really safe there, especially if you're holding for the long term. If you're looking for a 2 to 3x sometime this year, I think that might be a little short-sighted. But Sandbox and Decentraland, in my opinion, if you're holding it for the next 3 to 5 years, even if you got them at current prices today, I think those are pretty good calls. I think those are pretty good investments. Crowcoin or Kronos, I love this one. It's a top 20. We started acquiring this one back at 10 cents in 2021. So shout out to Zay. Again, I give him a shout out every single time I talk about Crow in a video, because without Zay being on that live stream, when only 40 people were watching our streams way back when, I don't know if I would have started buying Kronos at 10 cents. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, love crypto.com. They're building out an infrastructure that is built to last, in my opinion. And again, if you're holding this for 3 to 5 years, I think under 40 cents right now is a good time to accumulate for me. So what else do you got? Cardano is another one. Long-term future looks really, really bright. I know a lot of people have been frustrated with Cardano, especially after its big run up. There were a lot of people in the space that said Cardano to $10 this year. Of course, that didn't happen. But the thing is, Cardano is not playing the short window game. They're playing the long game. And if you're playing the long game as an investor, Cardano is a good one, in my opinion, to hold on to. Daniel would be able to give you a lot more insight. I know he's in the chat. Daniel, drop in your thoughts on Cardano, why you love it. I know you got some things to say, man. And super, super bright in the space and talking about Daniel, and really appreciate you, brother. Gala is the one. I saw somebody drop this in chat. This is the one where I really, this might be time to accumulate. Right around 20 cents is where I've been trying to accumulate. I first bought it 22, and then I bought it again at like 18 cents. I think Gala, which is, again, a top 60 crypto, I think we haven't seen the really big push and the really big upward trajectory that we've already seen with Sandbox and Decentraland. So this is one I think this year could get to $1. If we get in some type of bull run, I think a 4x, 5x from here is in the cards with Gala. And again, it's a lot less risky than any new coin out there in the community coin space. Of course, community coins can 100x, but they can also drop really quickly as well. But Gala, from a risk perspective at this price point, this is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Yeah. And then Guzzler, relax. Guzzler's one that, I would kind of watch closely, but it's a good project. I like what they're building out, but it's got a long way still to, prove itself. It just hasn't been around a long time, but I do like what they're building. Here's Daniel's thoughts. Getting into Cardano DeFi now is like getting into Ethereum before Uniswap was available. Excuse me, back when swaps took 10 hours. Muzz, thanks for the shout out there. Yeah, private community Patreon down below in the description if you want into some of the plays we're on and looking at. Definitely come on over and check us out over there. There is one that I want to talk about. I just bought into this yesterday, and not financial advice. Oh, speaking of which, I got to drop that banner in there. I always forget that. There we go. Boom. All right. I always forget to drop that in. And I saw some super chats over there. Abe of Spades, appreciate you, man. Big Boba Tama Bull, you've been in the chat a few days in a row, man. It is looking good, real good. But I just wouldn't chase that green candlestick now. If you've totally missed this, I don't know. It's just me. But yeah, Boba Tama is looking really good, man. Appreciate the super chats. Is $100 a good start with Shiba Inu? Whatever you can afford, Gardy or Jardy. Gardy. I'm guessing Gardy. Listen, man, it looks different for every single person out there. So, to ask, how much should I put in this? it's a question I really can't fully answer, and I don't feel right giving you a number because I don't know your financial situation. And only invest what you are willing to lose in crypto. That's really where I draw the line. Um, and are you playing the long game? Are you playing the short game? What are your goals? Right? You've got to ask yourself that, right? But here's one, not Shibnobi, Shibtoro. This is one I'll be covering later on the stream. Oops, forgot the T. I'll be covering this later today, actually. My first video will be out on Shibtoro later today, probably in the evening. But Shibtoro, it's come down, of course, since I just got into it. But that's okay. I'm playing the long game on this. This is just kind of consolidating right now. But it's very, very interesting what they're building. They've got something called Flexonomics, which the community actually has a say-so in the tokenomics over time, and it can kind of evolve and change. But there are some folks that are in this one that are some big whales. I'll say that. And a lot of the times I like to try to not outsmart smart people. Instead, just kind of understand that if smart money is getting into something, probably take a look at it. But Shibtoro, there's something cooking here, in my opinion. Not financial advice. This is one I'm willing to hold kind of for a little while here and see what happens. But I did enter a position in this one yesterday. And again, I'll have a video review. I just signed a sponsor deal with them, a couple videos, and hopefully a longer term deal down the line as well. Really was impressed with their head dev yesterday when I spoke with him. And more to come on this one for sure, but I wanted to address that real quick as well. Let's see. Any new vids on Dream coming out? Yes, Scott. I will have an AMA actually coming up, I believe, next week. I don't think we've locked down a day, but their head dev, Drew, and I will be having an AMA next week. Let's take a look at Dream. I know it's been kind of beat down a little bit, but this is another one I'm still holding. I have not sold a single Dream token yet. I got in this one day one, Dream, and it had a huge run up. Okay. I actually got in around 8 cents. So I'm actually in the hole. But I got in January 11th, about 8 or 9 cents, somewhere in here. So I'm okay holding still. It's one thing if I would have got in, well, there's really not even an opportunity yet to take profits. Okay. But I like what they're building. I like their vision here. It's not a traditional crypto project. Of course, you can only trade this during stock market hours. Very different. But yeah. Yes, Kevin, I always state that. I actually, and I put it at the top that includes a paid promotion. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Which wallet do you recommend, Trust Wallet or MetaMask? I like MetaMask for me. Froze? What happened? Did I freeze? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Muzz says he likes MetaMask with a hardware wallet connected. Yeah, for safety, for sure. For sure. All right, I want to go more macro here a little bit and talk a little bit about what they're talking about in terms of the crypto market, where it's at. A little bit further on in this video I'm going to show, they start talking about why this could lead to a bull market. At least this is somebody's perspective. I want to get your thoughts about this. So I'll listen in for the next 2 minutes, and then I think it gets into a particular person and why he believes that this could spark a bull run in terms of what happened with Biden yesterday. So let's listen in.
Sanctions against Russia and Belarus. The EU said that crypto fell into the category of transferable securities, which means sanctioned businesses and individuals are banned from using them, just like traditional currencies. Some have expressed concerns that crypto could be used to skirt sanctions in both countries, but experts have said that low trading volume makes that impractical.
I agree with that, by the way. There's been this narrative where Russian oligarchs are going to use crypto to avoid sanctions. The global market cap of crypto is just not big enough in order to do that. All right. So real quick, let me go back out. Russia's GDP is about 1.5 trillion. The global crypto market cap is 1.74 trillion. There's not enough volume yet there where they can really do that and fully do that. And that's where people like Armstrong from Coinbase and CZ from Binance came in and said, that's BS. And I agree.
Okay, turning back to regulation here in the U.S., fellow host Mackenzie Sigalo spoke with Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan to get his take on the new order and whether the crypto market is poised for a new bull run. Here's what he said.
I am joined here on Crypto World with Matt Hogan, the Chief Investment Officer for Bitwise Asset Management. Thanks so much for joining me today. Let's start off with the big news. We've got Biden announcing an executive order on crypto regulation. Lots of digital currencies rallied after that announcement. What's the temperature in the room on this? Are these forthcoming rules bringing welcome clarity, or could new guardrails actually be a bad thing for an industry that is still very much in its early days?
Oh, thanks for having me on, and that's a great question. The executive order is the signal that we're entering a new bull market phase in the crypto market. I think it's that important. The big question coming into the executive order was whether it was going to be balanced, whether it was going to talk about both the risks and the opportunities of crypto. Based on our initial read of what's in there, it does exactly that. The crypto market needs better and clearer regulation if it's going to go truly mainstream, if it's going to go from a $1.5 trillion industry to a $15 trillion industry. What we got here was sort of a shotgun start, telling all regulators to push that forward, do so in a way that protects investors, but that doesn't, throw the baby out with the bathwater, that keeps the economic development here in the U.S. I think it's pretty close to the outcome we were all hoping for, and that's why you're seeing markets rally today. And I suspect that rally will continue, for the rest of the year. I think it's a really important moment.
So the Biden administration wants to explore.
Real quick, obviously, we already gave back some of those gains yesterday, but this is one person's opinion. I mean, could he be right? What do you think about this? Drop it down below. We're going to continue to listen here. But he thinks that, with this type of regulation clarity could eventually, once we get back, where we're somewhat stable in the, markets as a whole, that it could lead to a next bull run later this year. And again, I want your thoughts, okay, on this down below.
A digital version of the dollar, which comes as China leads the charge on its own central bank digital currency. And I'm wondering whether you have any thoughts on the U.S. potentially getting into CBDCs.
Yeah, well, I think it's inevitable, right? The way money will move in the future is on blockchain. So it is inevitable that not just the US, not just China, but every major government is going to introduce a CBDC. Now, I think there are pros and cons to CBDC, right? There's significant privacy concerns, but there's also significant efficiencies and potential financial inclusion elements. So pros and cons. As a crypto investor, though, it's simply a net good, right? Because it acts to bring more of the crypto environment inside a regulatory framework. And it also will teach individuals about using crypto assets in their day-to-day life. So I'm mixed on whether CBDCs are a great thing for society, but for crypto, I think they're a major milestone, and I do think they're inevitable.
Sam Bankman-Fried and Michael Saylor have both said on Crypto World that the lack of regulatory clarity is what was keeping crypto prices under pressure in recent weeks. Does this executive order provide the regulatory clarity that investors have been worried about? And do you think that this order from President Biden will help facilitate a longer rally?
No, it's exactly right. Bitwise, we serve financial advisors, and we talk to thousands of them over the course of the year. And when we did a survey of them in December of last year, we asked, what's preventing them from allocating? And it wasn't volatility. It wasn't concerns about valuation. It wasn't not understanding what crypto and blockchain was. The number one thing they said was the lack of regulatory clarity. Now, we haven't gone from 0 to 100.
So I've been saying this for a very long time. The number one reason why a lot of people with money who are still on the sidelines have yet to invest in crypto is because of the lack of regulation, the lack of clarity when it comes to a regulatory framework. I agree.
On regulatory clarity with this executive order, what we have done is go from 0 to 1. We've taken the first step to establish a true regulatory regime for crypto. And look, if you believe in the underlying technology, if you believe it's as disruptive as all crypto investors do, you want to see the regulatory safeguards exist that allow that technology to express itself, that allow it to affect not just a little part of society, but all of what we do every day, of how finance works, of how the web works. So I do think this is a signal moment, and I do think it sets the stage for a bull market that could last at least through this year and potentially beyond. I think it's a really important development.
Generally speaking, Bitcoin has been faring better than the market since the conflict in Ukraine began. Meanwhile, tech stocks are getting crushed. So I wonder what's happening here.
Yeah, well, one thing we've learned from the conflict in Ukraine is the value of decentralized services, right? Crypto kept working even as the financial services in Ukraine faced challenges. So the world is realizing that the traditional monetary order is changing, that decentralized services are valuable. It's not surprising to me that Bitcoin and other crypto assets are rallying on this fact. You also, with Bitcoin specifically, the conflict in Ukraine has made the inflation fighting effort by the Fed much more challenging. And of course, Bitcoin, one expression of Bitcoin is as a hedge against inflation. So both of those have aligned to support Bitcoin. And I think, put a major catalyst behind people realizing the value of decentralized services.
Another market dynamic that I wanted to ask you about is, since November, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have very much been moving in lockstep with equities and bucking the meltdown that we've seen in commodities. And I wonder, why do you think cryptos are more closely tied to market performance at this stage rather than global commodities?
Yeah, I think it's a temporary impact. I think what we've seen since November is that risk on, risk off has dominated market dynamics, right? The Fed moving from easing to tightening. Individual corporate performance didn't matter. It affected stocks, almost across the board. And within crypto, it didn't matter as well. It overwhelmed the secular trends that are powering crypto's development. I think it is a temporary phenomenon, though. Eventually, those risk on, risk off factors net out, and we start to see the true drivers of crypto begin to come to the fore. So that's an example of what's happening today with the executive order. It's changed the nature of the game. That's specific to crypto, and you're seeing crypto move, although in the same direction as stocks, because the market in general is risk on, at a much larger beta, right? Much bigger moves. I suspect the correlation between crypto and equities over the rest of the year is going to come way down. These two asset classes aren't fundamentally correlated. The underlying drivers of them are fundamentally different. But during these periods when the market is just focused on, risk off, you can see these short spikes in correlation. I do think it's temporary. I think we're almost past it, and we're likely to see lower correlations in the future.
Before we go, Sequoia Capital's Sean McGuire spoke to TechCheck and said the executive order shows a pivot in DC. Take a listen.
The rate of learning in DC over the last 12 months has been pretty staggering, to be very blunt. I've been really impressed to see kind of a large portion of the House and Senate get up to speed really quickly. And so it's hard to say what time frame, the follow-ups to this EO will be, but I think the US has a strong opportunity to be a leader in global crypto.
That's all for today. Crypto World will be back again tomorrow with a lot more. We'll see you then.
Okay, so let me know your thoughts about all this. I'm going to close the stream here, and every single morning, Monday through Friday, around this time, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, we talk for about 30, 40 minutes, sometimes upwards to an hour, but I got to jump on some other meetings right now and talk a little bit about our NFT project, which, of course, is coming very, very soon. Ivan would not like if I didn't pitch this one more time. So come on over and follow us. 4,400 followers. Let's get this thing to 5K, and we'll do a giveaway on one of these streams once we get to 5K. So come on over and follow us. Check out what we're doing over here with the Rich Rabbit Club. Would really appreciate that. And overall, hang in there, everybody. Also, if you play in the long game, I Trust Capital, link down below if you want to start a crypto IRA. Now, the crypto market has given back some of its gains from yesterday, but there's always a silver lining. There's always opportunities to buy your favorite assets when it gets down to these levels that you really like. Bitcoin at 39,000 right now at the time of this recording, and Ethereum a little bit over 2,500. So thank you everybody for tuning in this morning. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you all so much for the love. I hear you out there. Khaleesi, I really appreciate that. Everybody, I saw your positive vibes and positive comments there, and very grateful for you. It's amazing where this thing has gone, and we're coming up on a year on this channel, which started basically in May, talking about cryptocurrency. And without all of you, I would not be here, and I don't forget that. Just know that, and really appreciate it. So thank you all so much. Hang in there. Things will get better, and we're still early crypto investors. So thanks again, and I will see you all very soon. As for a stream tomorrow, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be in a hotel. I'm hoping I get some stable Wi-Fi to do our morning stream right at 9. Might be a shorter version. Might even be one that's on my phone, but I'm going to try like hell to give it to you tomorrow. If not, be back Monday morning with these streams. But of course, videos come out on the channel every single day. So make sure you don't miss them. Put that notification, hit that notification bell or whatever the heck that bell thing does, and click it to all so you know when we post. Thank you so much. Anniversary party. I love it, Daniel. Yes. That sounds great. That sounds great. Sometime in May. I think we'll do it on the day that this channel got monetized, which, if I'm remembering correctly, was May 19th, 2021. So maybe we'll have to do a 1-year party. Maybe even drink some tequila on stream or something. That'd be cool. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.